It's Week 7 of the National Football League, where Mexico City will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Nighthawks and the Golden Eagles under the lights on Monday night.
It is time for football as we welcome you to another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Good to be in the booth with my partner Greg Olson. I'm Mike Tirico. Welcome. And Greg, this is one of those that's worthy of prime because wide receivers love the spotlight as much as any position group in the league. And we got two guys who shine under the lights here tonight.
And I think where it's going to be really fun and get interesting to watch, Mike, is in those critical situations. The game's on the line, third down, red zone, gotta have it moments. There is no mystery. Both these sidelines, they know exactly where the ball's going, and they're just going to say, I dare you to stop.
Here's Harrison Butker out there to get this thing started. And off we go here on Monday night. Scott now on the return. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. So the visitors ready to go on offense here for the first time, led by their quarterback, league MVP in 2019 and 2023, Lamar Jackson.
There's really no way around it, Mike. I mean, let's just call it what it is. This has been a disastrous start to their season thus far. I mean, they desperately need to get a win and change some of the energy in that building because I can assure you, I've been there before. As these losses stack up, every day becomes more and more of a drag. And then all of a sudden you get that one big win and the spirits of the building just change overnight. They need that. Can today be that spark? Because if not, they're in for a long season.
In motion is Myers. A first down throw for Jackson. To the right side, hauled in by Myers. And he won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Going to lose a yard as he steps out of bounds. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Slot man in motion left. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it. It is 3rd and 10. Gray is the motion man here. On 3rd down, Jackson. Taking off, he'll try to get there. Good job breaking the pocket and going for 14 yards, and most importantly, a first down.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
Hopkins sent in motion. And that time, the pressure, too much. He'll go down.
The offense goes from feeling really good about the previous play with a real nice pickup to then on the ensuing play ending up going the complete opposite direction. Really nice job here by the defense immediately getting back on track. And what do the coaches say? Just play the next play. And that's exactly what they did.
And he'll bring this across midfield as this drive is taking shape. A gain of 7 on that one. 7th play of this opening drive. And here's 3rd down. Oh, got him again the second time with a sack on this opening drive.
His defensive line clearly has a beat on this offense. They've got to find a way to settle their pass protections. If they want to be able to get their quarterback in any sort of established rhythm and timing going forward, they're going to have to do a lot better job protecting them. Early in this game, that's already 2 sacks allowed.
On 4th down, they'll turn to Ryan Stonehouse here to punt. Charlie Jones deep to return. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. This crowd ready in anticipation. Their offense taking the field for the first time. They'll be led out by the former #1 overall pick back in the 2015 draft, former Heisman winner as well, Jameis Winston.
And he's coming off a game where he's pretty much held in check for the majority of the contest. He had a couple nice throws here and there, and I think that's what gives this team hope that he is the quarterback for the future, Mike, because when he's on, it looks like big boy football. The problem is they just don't see it enough. He didn't get into any sort of established rhythm, never found the end zone, and of course he had the one interception. I think today, get him off to a good start. Get an idea of what the defense is looking to do to counter you, and find some easy layups to get this quarterback going. I think last week they weren't able to do it, and if they don't find early success today, I have a feeling the result might not be all that different.
Here comes Otten in motion. Winston to throw on first down. And that is incomplete. Malik Neighbors, the intended receiver. And it'll lead to a second down. They'll send him over to the left. Throwing on second down, Winston. Now a screen set up for Barkley. They smelled the screen and took care of it. Blown up in the backfield. Third and long. To throw is Winston. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
The Nighthawks offense ready to see the football for the second time. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. They'll run, and here's the rookie from Notre Dame. And he'll get 4 here, up to the 24-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 6. Gray is the motion man here. A give, and here's White. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're asked to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blocker, make the stop, and keep it to no gain.
DeAndre Hopkins was the intended target for that one. And now it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. And John's a punt for the second time in this opening quarter. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Golden Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley heading back on the field. And they love to find different ways to get him the football. Look there. He comes into this week 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards out of the backfield. That'll be taken in by Barkley. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Jameis. And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
So after picking up some positive yardage on 1st down, they end up going backwards on 2nd. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force 4th down.
Really nice start for this defense here early through the first quarter. 2 different players each recording a sack. Offensive line's going to have to get together on the sideline with their coach and identify where's the weakness in our protection. How can we get extra bodies and extra attention? Because we still got a long way to go in this one.
Here's Tommy Townsend now, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. This returnable from inside his own 40. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Nighthawks offense ready to take over possession of the football. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. The drive begins with a run by White. Fighting off defenders here. He'll churn forward and pick. 2nd and 7. Hopkins sent in motion. Now whistles. Play clock at 0, and that'll cost them 5. Gray is the motion man here. On the give, it's White. Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down. Gray is the motion man here. On play action, here's Jackson. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
The Golden Eagles offense ready to take over once more. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. They'll motion a tight end right. On 1st down, it's Winston. That ball caught. It's Zay Jones. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. On the handoff, this is Barkley. And he will keep the drive moving. Gets the 1st down. Nice gain of 5. In motion, it's Robinson. On 1st and 10, here's Winston. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
When you air it out like that on these big shots downfield, they're not always high percentage plays. It takes a lot of things to line up timing-wise, location of the field, accuracy of the throw to result in those big plays. But I think they've got to continue to search for those and try to generate a little bit of a spark.
They'll come up to 3rd and 3. So we've played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Back with more from Mexico City and the International Series after this. Third down, 3 to go. From the gun, Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now, following that sack, we have a player who was injured. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. On comes the punter now, as he's on here to punt this one away. Taken at the 19. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. The Nighthawks offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. They'll start this on the ground. And here's White. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. That's caught. It's Audric Estime. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down. From the gun, Jackson. He'll try to run for it.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on third down. Starts out as a pass. Nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner. Picks up the first down.
He's got his tight end, Mark Andrews. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for second down and 4. Jackson. He finds DeAndre Hopkins for the catch. 17 yards on that play. And that will be a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
In motion is Myers. Back to throw, Jackson. And he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a sack and a loss of a couple.
Let's give a lot of credit to the defensive plan that this coaching staff has come up with coming into today's game. Every time it seems like the offense makes an adjustment, the defense counterpunches. Different looks, different fronts, different pressure packages. They've had all the answers so far, and the sacks just keep piling up.
They need to get to the 29 here, facing third down. Now it's Jackson. He'll try and get there on the ground. And they'll finally run him down, but not before he takes it inside the 15.
You certainly can't fault the secondary here. The coverage was almost too good downfield on third down. The quarterback realized quickly there was nowhere for him to go with the ball, decides to become a runner. He's able to pick up the first down and some.
Play clock down to 0. That's going to be a delay. Gray is the motion man here. Play action now. Jackson. He'll take off again. And he'll be taken down.
This is a part of the field where you have to account for the quarterback as a runner. Nothing's open downfield. Great job by your secondary, but then he makes a break for the goal line, and they're able to stop him just short, but not until after he sets his guy.
Good blocking, and he's in. Zamir White, touchdown Nighthawks. It's his third touchdown on the year. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finished it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. This will be returned from the 6. Strong. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Golden Eagles offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll be hoping to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 our score as this drive begins with a first down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll try to set up the screen here. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. They face second down and 7. Back to throw. That's complete. It's Malik Neighbors. A gain of 16 yards. That's enough for a first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. He dropped for the loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Barkley. And he's able to find a crease, get ahead for 7, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Here comes Otten in motion. They'll throw here on 3rd and short. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. Here's their punter now. He's on to punt it for the 4th time tonight. And this one's going to land out of bounds as they'll mark it inside the 20. The Nighthawks offense and Lamar Jackson getting set to take over once more. And this defense has to be searching for answers right now. It's been his ability to make plays on the ground here in the first half that has really given them fits. Off the play fake, Jackson. Now he takes off. Big run here. He's tackled beyond the 35-yard line.
This defense is going to have to come up with some answers at halftime because they cannot allow this quarterback to just continue to have his way with them on the ground using his legs. And that's exactly what's happened so far here in the first half, and they're going to have to get that fixed and fixed quickly.
So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10. To the left side, it is caught by Myers.
The quick passing game in the NFL, Mike, is so dependent on yards after the catch. You got to generate space with the scheme, and then it's up to the receiver to do the rest. In this case, nice job defensively, because this guy couldn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard. 3rd and long. To throw is Jackson. He's going to keep it himself.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
The home team's offense ready for this next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. Right away, they'll set up to throw. 2 minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. Greg and I will be right back after this. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. They'll look to set up the screen here. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. They'll run it here with Saquon. He got a lot of what he needed, but just not enough. The mark is a couple of yards shy of the 1st down, and here comes 4th down. Here's the punter now, as he'll come on to kick for the 5th time here tonight. This one fielded out beyond the 25. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The visitors' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They lead it here in the 2nd quarter, 7-0, as they begin with a 1st and 10. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throwaway.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Open man downfield, it is Hopkins. And he'll be marked down at the 15-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
Line of scrimmage is the 15. It's 1st and 10. Jackson looking to throw. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Now, Jackson. There's a short one caught by Andrews. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down. Now the offense will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in half number 1. 3rd and 9. In the pistol, Jackson ready. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away. And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
And this one is fielded in the end zone, will not be returned. So it'll come out to the 30. Back to throw here to begin the drive. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half. Back to the air once more on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. More from you and a big tight end momentarily. But first, let's give everyone a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the 2nd quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a 2nd game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. We've been treated to a strong performance by running back Zamir White. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. These two teams leaving the tunnel, and we'll head out with them. It's time to send it back over to Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen.
Coach, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of the second half. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The home team's offense headed back to take over once more. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
From out of the gun, they give it to Barkley. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's third down. He'll drop to throw. A pass caught by Saquon. He's looking for room on the edge, but could not find any. They track him down behind the line, and it's fourth down.
That's just one of those drives that was out of whack from the start, Mike. They just couldn't get anything going on the early downs, and they'll most likely punt the ball away and hope that their defense can do the same thing and get them the ball back.
That is fielded at the 20. And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The visitors' offense and the veteran DeAndre Hopkins ready to take over once more. And you see the numbers for him into this third quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open and electric throughout. On a zone read, a give to White. And he's going to be stuck well behind the line of scrimmage. A play going absolutely nowhere. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Jackson going to keep it himself. And he'll only get it to the 26-yard line, setting up 2nd and long.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short gain.
There he goes again. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's fourth down.
And that's a pretty good effort here on 3rd and long. He had nowhere to go down the field. The defense is playing real soft. He pulls it down and did all he could, but he's still going to end up being short of the first down.
Here comes the Nighthawks punt team. On the return is Jones. And he'll get a few yards on this return up past the 15-yard line. The home team's offense ready to take over once again. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Barkley. Room to run at the 30. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks, so don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Cooper going in motion. Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. Open man is Robinson. And he is out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 36 yards.
That's not the type of play that's going to end up on a lot of end-of-the-season highlight reels, Mike, but listen, sometimes those little check-down crossers produce some positive plays. Stay ahead of the chains.
1st and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. And the back judge throws the flag. He looks at the ball, looks at the clock. Clock says 0. That's a delay of game. Here comes Otten in motion. They'll run the counter with Barkley. And that'll get the penalty yardage back. He gains 5 to set up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
We spend so much time talking about quarterbacks and the special plays that they can make. And, of course, that's a big part of playing quarterback in the NFL. But also, can you avoid the bad plays? Do you know when the fight is over and live to play another down? Don't take that sack. Throw the ball away, get back out there on 3rd down, and give yourself a chance. That's a really good effort on 3rd down, just trying to make something happen. He did well to get what he got, but it's not enough for a first.
Butker's kick is good. And the Golden Eagles are on the board. It's now 10-3.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. And he finds some daylight up past the 35-yard line, a pickup of 7. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Gray is the motion man here. Another run here with White. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Here now, 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
And the big guys up front in the offensive line just continue to not be on the same page. And we've seen it time and time again here today. This pass rush remains one step ahead of them, and it's the quarterback who continues to pay the price.
This brought in out past the 20. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Barkley to start the drive. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down. Cooper going in motion. They'll throw out of the gun. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. But he can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now they'll set up to throw. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
Well, we sit up here all the time and we try to break down why certain plays work or don't work. Well, this one's not real tricky. I mean, he just simply needs to catch the ball. I mean, that close to the first down chain, if he just catches that ball and turns upfield, they extend this drive. He's got to come over to the sideline, take a deep breath, tell his guys, hey, man, that's on me. And he's got to go out and make that next play because his team's going to need him to play better as the rest of this game continues.
Gray is the motion man here. The give to White. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. In motion is Myers. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8. Lamar going to work from the pistol. That's downfield, and he's got Andrews, his tight end. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
Defensively, you put so much effort about defending the middle of the field. You know that's the valuable real estate every offense is looking to attack. But what does that do, Mike? It makes you a little susceptible to the throws outside the numbers, and it leads to a chunk play.
On the handoff, it's White. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Now, following the run, one of the offensive linemen leading the way is a bit shaken up. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 6. In motion is Myers. He'll get this out to the left flat. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he's going to have the first down. They convert on 3rd, and it sets up a 1st and goal. In motion is Myers. Jackson going to keep this one himself. They'll come up with nothing there. Fortunate just to get back to the line. And that'll set up 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson. He'll run again. And he keeps the legs moving, able to get it down inside the 5. So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Back with more Monday Night Football after this. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. Now Jackson. And he's going to be stopped. He gets 2 down to the 2-yard line, but now it's 4th down.
You could tell that this defense was ready for this exact play call. They know that they're going to give their quarterback a chance both through the air and on the ground with his legs. They do a nice job stopping him short of the goal line to force 4th down.
They'll go. It's White. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Zamir White. Touchdown, Nighthawks. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game. He's doubled his season output. He now has 4. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Charlie Jones now to return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The home team's offense ready to see what they can do. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Jones motioning here. Play clock has expired. They're not going to get this one off on time. One of the tight ends motions right. From out of the gun, he'll throw. And that ball out of reach toward the sideline. It'll be an incompletion. A tough spot here. 3rd and long. Jones motioning here. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Winston. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Nighthawks offense ready to come back out for this next possession. Here's Estime. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down.
I love this call, Mike. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the 1st down.
And just a short gain there, down to the 38. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Jackson out of the pistol. He'll tuck it and take off. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. In motion is Myers. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard. Here's a 2nd and 9. Gray is the motion man here. 2nd down. Jackson. That is caught to the goal line and in. Mark Andrews. Touchdown, Nighthawks. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
Badgley now, the tack on the extra point. The kick is good. And the Nighthawks extend to a 24-3 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Jones now on the return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. The Golden Eagles offense getting set to get back to work. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. Now he'll run. And he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. In motion, it's Robinson. A 2nd down throw for Jameis. That ball caught. It's Zay Jones. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. That is caught. It's Robinson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but he's got the first down. A pickup of 8. From the gun, Winston. That'll be taken in by Barkley. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. 2nd and 7. To throw, here's Winston. Now a screen set up for Barkley. That screen goes for 12, and that's a first down.
The job of the offensive lineman is the key piece to a successful screenplay. They have to balance this fine line between stopping the defensive lineman from getting to the quarterback too quick, but also let that defensive lineman think he's got a free rush at the quarterback. That's the balance and the timing that made this play so successful, and they're able to pick up the first down.
2nd and a yard. Here comes Otten in motion. Off the play fake, it's Jameis.
Well, Mike, this is not somebody that you're usually afraid of beating you with his legs, but every now and then he can do just enough to extend the play. That's exactly what he did here. Picks up enough yardage, converts the first down.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 4. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Jameis Winston. Touchdown, Golden Eagles. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a 2-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
This one not quite over, but down a couple of scores. We're going to get an onside kick.
Late in the game, this is where you see teams really start taking some chances. And boy, this was a big one, but it's not going to work out.
The Nighthawks offense ready to get back at it. And they look to finish it off here in the 4th. This might just wash away what was a subpar performance a week ago. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. They'll run over center with White. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's a 2nd and 6. On the ground, it's Estimate. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. Another run, and again, it's Estimate. Not much happening there, just a short game. So, right out of the 2-minute break, we get a timeout used by the defense with 1:56 to go. On the give, it's White. And he will not be able to get free, picking up only a yard. Now, it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's White. And now we get a timeout by the defense. So the clock stops with 1:50 left in the game. The offense is staying right there. They're going for it. 4th and a couple.
I know it's 4th and short, Mike, but at this distance, you actually have to clear a lane out. You can't just fall forward or push the pile. So that conversion, it's as much of a credit to the blocking as it is to the running back seeing the hole and hitting it.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So, it's a win for our visitors. They're able to erase the memories from a week ago, a game they really did struggle in. It looked like a different group here as they respond with a solid victory. So, that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night.